A family got booted off their $8,000 Caribbean cruise on day 2 because their 17-year-old was playing air hockey at 1:15 a.m. Not drinking, not fighting, just air hockey. Security found him, gave him one warning, caught him again 30 minutes later grabbing pizza, and by breakfast the next morning the entire family was packing their bags in Cozumel. Here's what nobody's telling you. Cruise lines have quietly changed a bunch of rules in 2025, and some of them are absolutely wild. We're talking surprise fees that'll make your wallet cry, new bans that could get your luggage confiscated, and enforcement that's stricter than your high school principal. But don't worry, I've got the inside scoop on 11 rule changes that are catching passengers completely off guard, including the one that turned a grandmother's sunglasses into a security threat, and the mistake that cost a family $200 before they even bought their first margarita. Let's dive into the cruise chaos of 2025, because apparently, even vacation has gotten complicated. Rule change number 1. Carnival became your mom. Well, it finally happened. Carnival turned into that parent who makes everyone come inside when the streetlights turn on. As of mid-2025, anyone under 18 has to be out of all public areas by 1 a.m. Not just the nightclub, we're talking arcades, hallways, pool decks, even that random couch near the pizza place where teens like to plot their next buffet attack. And here's the kicker. If they get caught breaking curfew, it's not just a, hey, don't do that again. We're talking cabin lockdown for the rest of the cruise. Or worse, getting kicked off the ship entirely. Imagine getting grounded on international waters. That's a new level of parental embarrassment. One kid tried to get out of it by saying, "But it's my birthday." Security responded with, "Cool story, happy birthday, now go to your room." Carnival says it's about keeping things safe and chill after dark. Parents say, "Gee, would have been nice to know that before I booked the family cruise." So if your teen was planning to dominate the arcade at 2 a.m. while holding a slice of pizza and living their best cruise life, not this year, buddy. The fun police have officially clocked in. Rule change number 2. The Great Deck Chair. Wars of 2025. Remember the ancient cruise ritual? Wake up at dawn, sprint to the pool deck, toss a towel on a chair like you're claiming territory, then disappear for 4 hours to eat pancakes and accidentally buy duty-free watches? Well, those days are officially over. Cruise lines have declared war on chair hogs, and they're not messing around. Leave your deck chair empty for more than 30 to 40 minutes, and the crew will swoop in like chair ninjas. Your towel gets folded, your book becomes origami, and your flip-flops take a little trip to the lost and found. Here's my favorite story. A guy named Gary from Ohio tried to claim 4 chairs using his kids' stuffed animals, his prescription glasses, and a cruise newsletter that he'd folded into a swan. He came back 2 hours later to find his swan had been deconstructed, his stuff was in a bag, and 4 very smug Canadians were sipping margaritas in his spots. When Gary complained to guest services, they handed him the official chair hog policy and pointed him toward a lovely seat in the shade, right next to the ice sculpture demonstration. Ouch. The towel police are real, they're ruthless, and they do not care about your half-empty sunscreen bottle as a placeholder. Rule change number 3. Lobster night just got complicated. You know how some people treat lobster night like it's the Olympics of overeating, loading up plates with 5 tails, 2 steaks, a mountain of shrimp, and somehow still having room for just a tiny slice of chocolate cake? Well, 2025 called, and it's putting those dreams on a diet. Cruise lines are now playing portion police, and yes, they're even cracking down on the holy grail of cruise dining, lobster night. Some ships are doing the polite 1 lobster tail at a time approach. One guy tried to beat the system by changing outfits and coming back multiple times. First in a polo, then a Hawaiian shirt, and finally wrapped in what could only be described as a beach towel cape. Security literally followed the trail of butter drips back to his table and took his name off the trivia sign-up sheet out of pure spite. Cruise lines say it's about reducing food waste, but let's be honest, this feels personal. Lobster night has become lobster maybe if you behave. So if your plan involved reliving your Red Lobster fantasies 12 times in a row, you better bring disguises and a really good strategy. Rule change number 4. The fan ban nobody saw coming. Here's a weird one that'll make you scratch your head. You know those dramatic handheld fans that go clack every time someone strikes a pose? The ones that make you feel like you're starring in your own music video? Yeah, those are banned now, specifically in nightclubs, theaters, and those spontaneous dance-offs in the atrium. They've been officially labeled as nuisance items, which sounds like something a very frustrated DJ came up with after someone ruined their mix with excessive plastic clacking. Apparently, too many people were getting smacked in the face mid-Macarena, and the audio equipment couldn't handle someone creating thunder sounds every 5 seconds. One passenger complained, "But my fan is part of my outfit." Sorry, darling. Fashion's great, but not when it requires an incident report. So if it folds, clicks, and sounds like a thunderclap when you open it, keep it in your cabin. The dance floor has gone fan-free, and there's no appeals process. Rule change number 5. Mexico's surprise tax party. Planning a fun day in Mexico? Better pack sunscreen, flip-flops, and a small loan from your bank. Because Mexico has decided that cruise passengers need to pay what I like to call the having fun tax. It starts innocently enough, a $5 cruise passenger fee. Sounds reasonable, right? Until it grows up to be 21, like it has its own loyalty program. But wait, there's more. Starting July 2025, there's also a $42 non-resident fee per person. That's right, they're charging you just for being you. So let's do the math. Family of 4 hits Mexico equals $168 in surprise fees before you've even taken your obligatory sombrero photo or gotten your picture with the donkey. And no, this isn't the cruise line trying to squeeze extra money out of you. These are official government fees that just magically appear on your cruise account like unwanted relatives at Thanksgiving. Some passengers have checked their accounts expecting maybe a soda charge and instead found mysterious entries labeled Port Fee Adjustment Gracias. It's like getting charged for breathing tropical air. Rule change number 6. California forces cruise lines to tell the truth. Here's the most shocking plot twist of 2025. Cruise lines are being forced to be honest about pricing. I know, I didn't think it was possible either. Thanks to new California laws, if you're sailing from California, the price you see is actually the price you pay. Revolutionary concept, right? No more $199 7-night cruise that mysteriously becomes $799 after port fees, taxes, and what I swear was once listed as an emotional support surcharge for looking stressed at check-in. It's like the cruise version of a plot twist where the villain suddenly tells the truth. Instead of your total going up at checkout, it just stays the same. Wild. But here's the catch. This only works if you're sailing from California. If you're booking from Florida or Texas, you're still playing the classic game of guess that final fare. Is it $499? Is it $999? Will it cost your dignity and a kidney? Nobody knows until checkout. But hey, if you're sailing from LA or Long Beach, at least now you'll know exactly how broke you're about to be before you click confirm. Rule change number 7. Greece joined the Fee Olympics. Planning to twirl through Santorini in a flowy dress with gelato in one hand and 0 crowds in sight? Yeah, not happening in 2025. Greece has officially joined the Surprise Fee Olympics, and they're going for gold. They're now charging €20 per cruise passenger just to step off the ship in places like Mykonos and Santorini. You haven't even taken your first Instagram photo and you're already down $20. But it gets better. They've also introduced daily cruise caps, which means some days you might not even be allowed off the ship. Imagine waking up excited for your Santorini adventure and hearing this announcement. Due to port restrictions, today will be a relaxing day at sea. Locals say it's to combat over-tourism. Cruisers say it's to combat joy. Rule change number 8. Barcelona is having a glow-down. Barcelona, the crown jewel of European cruise ports, has decided it's time for a dramatic makeover. And by makeover, I mean they're basically putting up a "No Fun Allowed" sign next to the Sagrada Familia. They're cutting cruise terminals from 7 down to 5 and capping daily passengers like they're running an exclusive nightclub. Some passengers are already waking up to find their Barcelona dreams replaced with relaxing day at sea, which we all know means sitting by the pool while someone's Bluetooth speaker plays yacht rock on loop. You thought you were docking next to Gaudi's masterpiece? Plot twist. You're now parked next to a shipping container and a stray cat that the crew has lovingly named Luis. So if you had dreams of sipping sangria on La Rambla, you might want to check your itinerary. Some people are discovering that their Spanish adventure has mysteriously become educational lectures about Spanish culture in the ship's theater. Rule change number 9. Your smart luggage is too smart for its own good. Remember when smart luggage felt super futuristic? The kind that could charge your phone, track its location, and probably apply for its own passport? Well, in 2025, that same bag is considered a rolling fire hazard with abandonment issues. If your suitcase has a built-in battery that can't be popped out like a Lego piece, it's not getting on the ship. Doesn't matter if it's TSA approved. Doesn't matter if it cost $400. Doesn't even matter if it perfectly matches your sequined formal night outfit. If that battery can't come out, you'll be frantically repacking at the terminal into a $60 emergency duffel bag that smells like sadness and tropical air freshener. One woman tried to sneak her smart bag through by putting it inside a regular bag, like it was going undercover. Security unzipped that thing faster than a kid on Christmas morning. So if you're bringing smart luggage, make sure the battery comes out, because otherwise the only thing cruising will be your bag straight back to your Uber. Rule change number 10. The Great Tech Purge of 2025. Turns out smart luggage was just the beginning. Cruise ships are now coming for all your techie travel dreams, one gadget at a time. Personal Wi-Fi routers? Band? Mobile hotspots? Nope. That fancy Starlink device you bought to check emails while sipping mojitos in the Bahamas? Not happening. Drones? Absolutely not. Especially after one guy launched his for epic sail-away footage and got epic footage of security confiscating it mid-flight like an angry seagull with a badge. Cruise lines say these devices can mess with ship systems or annoy the crew. Also, not every port wants flying cameras buzzing around like robotic mosquitoes taking vacation selfies. So if your carry-on looks like it could live stream a SpaceX launch, you might want to tone down the tech vibes or risk getting flagged for suspiciously high-tech behavior. Rule change number 11. Your sunglasses are now suspicious. Here it is, the weirdest rule of them all. Cruise lines have officially banned a new category of dangerous items, your sunglasses. Well, specifically if they're smart glasses with AI features, cameras, or what security calls suspiciously high-tech vibes. One guy showed up wearing AI Ray-Bans, ready for voice commands and real-time translation. Security took one look and asked, "Sir, are you here for a cruise or an undercover operation?" When he said they were just for directions, they replied, "You'll be taking directions. Back to the parking lot." Smart rings that record conversations? Band? Watches that do more than tell time? Nope. If your accessories are smarter than the average cruise passenger, they're not getting on the boat. The new cruise motto for 2025, if it can spy, it can't sail. So before you pack for your next cruise, ask yourself, are my sunglasses just sunglasses? Because apparently in 2025, even your eyewear needs a security clearance. Look, I know this all sounds like cruise lines have lost their minds, but here's the thing. Most of these rules exist because previous passengers created situations that required policy responses. The teen curfew, because unsupervised teenagers were causing problems after midnight. The chair police, because people were literally fighting over deck chairs. The key to cruising in 2025 is simple. Do your homework before you pack. Check the latest rules, budget for surprise fees, and maybe leave the super smart gadgets at home. Your vacation doesn't need to be a tech showcase. It just needs to be fun. The cruise industry is trying to balance everyone's good time with safety, international laws, and not going completely insane from passenger complaints. When you know the rules going in, you can focus on what cruising is really about: eating too much, relaxing too little, and making memories that don't involve security incidents. Thanks for watching. And remember, cruise rules might be getting weirder, but the vacation magic is still there. You just need to navigate around a few more wet floor signs than before. Happy cruising, and may all your rule encounters be pleasantly boring.